meets the sea. Catching fish is where I'll be, come rain or sunny skies. I'm gonna grab my fishing line, yes, we're taking out some time. That's fishing. This has been a fishing tale, just like Jonah and the whale. No place I'd rather be. Yes, we're casting out a line, everybody's feeling fine. That's fishing. That's fishing. Yeah, that's fishing.
On to the fishing.
Hi and welcome to That's Fishing. On today's show we're talking electrical. Now the reason why we're here doing this is simple. It's winter, the fishing is absolutely terrible at the moment, lousy weather, it's all bad. Now what we're going to do is we've come down here to Phil's workshop, Phil at PCB Automotive, and we're going to be talking about everything electrical to do with our boats and getting our boats up to speed for the up and coming snapper season and all the good fishing coming up towards the end of the year. So kick back and enjoy. That's fishing. Well, we're back here talking about electrical. Phil, thanks for coming once again on board with That's Fishing, and we're going to be talking all about batteries, all the electrical gear, our trailer, getting our trailers up to speed, make sure all our indicators are working.
Electric brakes, breakaway,
all sorts
lighting.
Of things. I'm trying to riddle off a few things so he doesn't really want to talk.
All your radios in your boat. A lot of people we find fit LEDs. They take their the old lights off and they fit LEDs. Now they don't heat shrink anything, and when the water gets in, they corrode. What I suggest is get yourself some glue-lined heat shrink. So when you do connect them, solder them up, put this on, heat it up. You won't get the water into your wiring, and it won't run through and corrode your loom out. So make sure you use this in your trailer plug at the front of the boat. Always check that. Even once it's all connected up, put a bit of silicone in there, close it, and it's sealed. And that'll save you a lot of heartache, especially on the way down to the ramps. You know, you'll get booked on the way with no lights. So
yes, as we found out ourselves, did we not? Yes. Anyway, that's for another story some other time. All right, well, let's get in the boat and let's go through a couple of little things inside the boat, and then we're going to be talking about batteries just a little bit later on. All right, so let's get on the boat. Well guys, what we're doing here is very simple. Now the boat's been starting quite okay, but Phil's actually just put it on this fancy machine and found that the battery's actually quite down, which could come
It's about 60% starting capacity, and they should be 75 at least.
At least 75?
Yeah.
Okay.
And especially in a boat, you don't want to be out on Port Phillip or Western Port and go to have your radios on, your sounder, go to start and it won't start. A lot of boats have got two batteries, which is great, with the isolation switch here that you can change around, have both batteries or one or the other. But
either or either?
You still want both batteries up to scratch, especially if you're going out in the bay or you're going out in the ocean, offshore. You want your batteries 100%. So
100%.
Get them checked, start of every season. Get them checked. If they're crooked, throw them away. Don't even muck around.
Just throw them out.
It's not like a car you can just pull on the side of the road. This you could float around for a while. So.
And especially if you're offshore or something like that, and you go to kick that.
Yeah, that's it. Just go to your local auto elec. They'll plug a load tester on, load test your batteries. You don't have to take your boat, pull the batteries out, take them in. Say, could you check these for me?
And we've got these new batteries here. You've just showed me. We've hooked it up to this brand new battery to show me the difference, and it's
yeah, this
nearly 100% or something, isn't it?
Close to 100%, where the other's 60%. So one's 60 and one's about
pretty
70%.
down.
It's not bad, but
it's done some pretty good use.
Yeah, so you really want to look at that before the season. As well, inside the boat, people tend to put radios in, different sounders, lights, and again, they don't heat shrink anything. They just solder it or crimp connectors. Corrosion gets in. Check your lights, your sounders, your radios, all before the start of the season.
Now we're just looking, I can just see here in an angle, there's a bit of corrosion on my terminals there, and of course it's tucked in. I haven't honestly been really
a lot of people say it's just so hard to get to. That's the thing that just sort of...
And we didn't have any spray because you've got this spray that actually sprays over the actual battery terminal itself.
There's a CRC spray, there's a Worth spray you can buy, it just covers the terminal, you can get Vaseline.
And like a bluey stuff.
Yeah, tube of Vaseline, just really smother it. Grease, anything just to stop.
Just to stop that corrosion. That's the air getting to that terminal. Stops all the corrosion. And especially like us, we're both running electric winches. That's now...
Yeah. Well, so your winch too will draw... A lot of people sometimes they don't tend to start the motor before they operate the winch.
Yep.
So if your battery's down and you've only got one battery, well, you may not get a start out of the battery.
Now, I must say that Malky from Lone Star Winches was always telling me from word go, Brian, start the motor before you bring the winch in. One, it just helps. Your alternator's working. And what's on these motors? I think they're about 100 amp alternator.
Your motor's running, so you're not going to have a problem starting.
So that's giving it all the power it needs. And it's also good, what we find we do on this boat, it's very, very simple. Start your motor, then bring all your rods in, and your motor's running, plenty of power to the batteries, and then you lift your anchor up, of course, with the electric winch, and bang.
And away you go.
And Malky has always told us this, just start that motor.
Well, the problem is that there is a lot of boats with only one battery, and they're running everything. Everyone now puts sounders, GPS units, lights, radios.
Everything.
And they sit there for hours and hours.
And of course you guys fed off all the dual batteries, of course, and all these.
We do all the dual batteries, battery isolations.
So if you've only got one battery in a boat, seriously, you should look at getting the dual battery. Put it in and don't
just as a backup. If you're going offshore, definitely there's no ifs, buts
or maybes about it.
So just before the start of the season, like now's a good time. Check everything out. Check your wiring. You've got time to fix it then. If you wait till bang, okay, you've heard the snappers on, you're going to be out there that weekend, you're going to have problems. So look at your boats now and get it sorted.
Yeah, that's fishing. Yeah, that's fishing.
Hooked on Tackle Talk with Big Mick. Hi and welcome to That's Fishing Tackle Talk once again, and today we're talking about waders for when we go surf fishing, trout fishing, or in case you just want to wear waders. Mick, you're the expert at this stuff, I'm not, so give us a complete rundown of all the different kinds of waders you can buy.
In today's marketplace we have a lot of different styles of waders for different purposes and obviously to hit different price points as well. Our conventional wader that we see most people wearing are these style of waders here, which are a nylon material.
Yep.
Very, very basic wader, hard wearing, so they quite hard wearing, so they do wear very, very well. Easy to wash down and clean. Can be a little bit, you know, yeah, they do their job.
Yep.
But as we move on, we get different materials in waders that make them more comfortable. A lot of people don't like wearing waders in the past because they stick a little bit. You can't move and squat down in them. So different waders will give you different fits. From there, we can move into a different type of material. It's cool. It's a nylon inner, so it's got the same material on the inside. On the outside of that, we've got a denier type material. So basically what that means is it's a lot harder to punch, or puncture. So if we put a hook through those, the hooks will go through pretty quick. Got to get the repair kit out, repair them up and get going again. These guys here take a lot more for that to happen. If they do put a hole in them, we can repair them pretty quickly. It just takes a lot more for them to tear.
To actually puncture itself.
Then you start getting other little features like these guys have got reinforcement on the knee pads, so you can get down on the ground and kneel on them, do what you need to do, and again, you're not going to have any dramas that way too. The other style that they do in these type of range of waders is what we call fire boots. Basically what it does, if I can pull that up there, so like a legging.
So it's not a full suit, it's only just on either leg.
We find a lot of guys will buy those who are launching at boat ramps and so forth. They don't need to put the full length of wader on to get into the water and do what they need to do. They just want to obviously stay dry. Not a drama in the middle of summer. Middle of winter though, it's a little bit fresh out there. It's a way of keeping nice and dry without having something bulky on.
Then.
Talking about cold, which it has been lately.
It has.
We can go into something like these guys. These are made out of neoprene.
It's like a wetsuit material.
Wetsuit material, that's exactly right. Really, really good in those colder environments. Not only on the surf, but again, if you're up there freshwater spinning up your streams and up your lakes, they'll keep you nice and warm. A couple of little features on those. Again, we've got hand warmers in there. Big storage pockets on there. Back up to the knees again. Reinforcement across your knees. Good good sturdy boots as well. So again, we're not going to slip and slide all over the place.
Right, yep.
But the most important feature about that is warmth.
Warmth again, it's for the real cold environment.
That's exactly right. Good thing about neoprene too, especially for larger blokes like myself, and you're not too bad, Brian.
Oh, I'm alright.
You're alright. Good thing about that material, it is got a lot of bit of stretch in there too, so you can feel quite comfortable. You're not feeling constricted with them, and you've got a good range of movement through them.
Okay.
Moving up to the deluxe style of wader.
So that's getting up the top end?
Yeah, your breathable style of wader, super light. There's no weight in these whatsoever. Really, really thin.
Okay.
Key thing then is comfort. Really comfortable pair of waders.
Yep.
Again, different style of wader as well with these. Most of the other ones you'll notice have already got boots on them.
Yep.
These guys don't run a boot.
So you can have a selection of different boots to whatever application you're actually doing.
That's exactly right. Like if we're on the surf beach, I might put a pair of Shimano Aviar shoes over those because they're nice and comfortable and they support the arch of my foot really, really well. If I'm going off the rocks, I want a pair of boots, I've got a pair of cleats on so I can get good purchase on the rock and I'm not going to slip and slide. Or if I'm going to go freshwater fishing, put my boots on that have got a felt sole so I'm not going to slip and slide.
On the moss.
That's exactly right. So one pair of waders with that stocking foot, I'll just buy appropriate footwear and it'll allow me to do everything there.
Oh, excellent.
Which is really, really good.
So there we go. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different kinds of...
different waders, so different price points, different applications.
Yep.
Nice and easy.
Beautiful. So for any information about these waders, go to thatsfishing.com.au and get the Mick's link here. And if not, you can drop into the shop and he'll go through it with you. And these are the kind of thing that really needs to be fitted, doesn't it?
It does.
Because different foot size and things
and
like
body sizes
and
as well.
Okay then. All right, I'm Brian Sanders, Big Mick. We'll catch you next week. Well, guys, while Phil was going around checking all sorts of bits and bobs on the actual boat itself, we had a look at the back of the terminals on the electric winch setup where we've got our circuit breaker and that right here. We found that there was just a smidgen of corrosion there, but that was just a quick clean up. We've cleaned that up, put it all back because it's very important to us because we move around so often and we use an electric winch so often that yeah, we really have to make sure that it's absolutely 100%. And like Phil was just saying, it's only a quick drop into your local Autolec anyway, just to check it out. Also, what we found too, which I didn't know about, was I don't know if I've just done it then or when we've been playing around and we're checking it out, but we go to start and we can't start the motor. Now that would have been very embarrassing at the boat ramp, and it looks like it may have actually come loose on the inside of the dash. So Phil's just gone out to get some tools. We're going to fix up the key, and but lucky be your thumb. Lucky we were here today, and lucky we've found this, because things like this is what you don't want happening at the boat ramp.
Okay, it wouldn't crank. We couldn't get the barrel to go around to the crank position. So I'd say the actual barrel inside's fallen apart or something like that. So we need to get the barrel fixed. We'll probably just replace the whole switch. So
yep.
Which would be the best way. You don't want to muck around with something like that.
No, that's for sure.
It's in an awkward place to get to. So
yes. Wouldn't like to be offshore in a sloppy seat and
try to
fix
start
this.
in a hurry. So
no. So
yeah,
there's the key, mate.
What happens is the little rollers in there, I suppose, and it'll jam when it goes to the start position.
Yep.
So we'll have to get a switch.
How lucky was that?
Okay, I just had a look through the stock. We did have a switch in stock. Now, bang, away it goes. Starts, everything's fine. So that's all it was, ignition switch. So things like this you need to look at. It is a must. Get yourself some CRC and just spray. Any connectors, circuit breakers in here, just give them a quick spray with CRC and that'll just keep the corrosion off them. And you'll have happy boating. Okay, another thing to be checked on boats is your bilge pump. In the bottom of the boat here, this boat's actually got two bilge pumps. It's got one at the front and one at the rear. What we've done here, there's a bung here we can put in. We've put the bung in, we've put water in there, we've made sure that bilge pump pumps. Some pumps you can actually hear work. but the impeller's broken off. So the motor itself's working, spinning, but the impeller's not, and it won't pump the water. So if you can, put a little bit of water in there, make sure it pumps out. We've checked the front one, now we're going to go and check the rear.
Yeah, that's fishing. Yeah, that's fishing.
Okay, what we've done here, we've found the second bilge pump, and believe it or not, this boat's got 3 bilge pumps. It's got one down the back here, and it's got one tucked up here that sucks from the bottom of the boat. So we've filled down both compartments with water, both pump out water fine, so we know they're working. That's the main thing with these. If you've got a deck wash, like this boat's got, check that as well.
That's another pump?
It's another pump again. Make sure it's working, make sure the connections are fine, give everything a spray, bit of CRC. We noticed this one had jammed up a little bit. Clean it up, everything's fine. So just little things to check. Now we've sort of checked most of the boat, we'll go outside and have a quick look over the trailer, we'll go from there.
No worries. Righto guys, we're down here, now we're going to be talking about the trailer. What are we doing here, Phil?
Okay, what we first thing to do, the best thing to do is check your wheel bearings, make sure there's not much play. If the wheel's moving backwards and forwards, either the wheel bearings have had it,
yep,
or they need adjusting. So jack the trailer up, take the caps off, either tighten them or replace the wheel bearings. I recommend replacing wheel bearings every year.
Yep.
If you're in out of salt, fresh water, maybe, you know, go a little bit longer, but
yep,
salt water, I do them every year. And keep the grease up to them. That's a major thing. If they dry out from grease, you're going to have problems. No two ways about it.
Yep.
Worst thing what you don't want if you've got a single axle trailer is the hub to lock up.
Well, it's all dramas on the side of the road, isn't it?
It's not like blowing a tyre when you go and get your tyre fixed. You have
yep,
to chase wheel bearings and muck around. You know, you put your spare on otherwise. Check your wheel bearings. Check the brakes. This has actually got Breakaway on it.
Yep.
The hydraulic brake.
Yeah, it's electric over hydraulic.
Yep. Check and its discs. So check your pads. Make sure they're up to scratch. We can do it here at our premises. We do, you know, your wheel bearings, your brakes. Yep. Whatever you need servicing of the trailer.
So if someone's got buggered bearings, you can actually replace all the bearings for them as well. Brake pads,
if they don't do it themselves, we can do the whole lot for
them. Now there's a lot of people out there that don't do this kind of work, because they may work in an office or something like that, and you'll be quite happy to do all that for them.
Bring it in, we can give them a price, whatever.
And let them go from there.
Pull it off, have a look, and we can go from there. So, tyre pressures, keep an eye on them too. Single axles, you really got to. With the tandems, it's not as critical.
Yep.
Single axle, critical. Must be checked all the time. So.
Yep. So when you go down and fill up the boat for the going out the next day fishing, just check your tyre pressures when you're down at the local servo.
Yep, that's it.
Easy. All right, now we'll go and have a look at the electric brakes.
We'll have a look at the breakaway unit on the front.
Yep.
And the hitch, everything. Make sure everything there's fine. No rust, nothing broken. We'll go from there.
Done. Now Phil, as you said, we decided to check all the trailer out. Now he said, let's go up the front and check away the breakaway. Now what the breakaway does is, if in a worse situation the trailer actually does leave the car in an accident or something like that, the cable gets pulled out of this little black box here, brings on the battery, onto the reserve battery I should say, brings on the power onto the electric brake system, and jams the brakes fully locked on for, I believe, it's about approximately 15 minutes until someone can put the plug back in. So we'll give it a go and let's see if it actually does what we say it's going to do. So here we go. Well, there you go, Phil. It didn't work. So what could that mean?
Okay, 2 things, or 3 things. It could be the pump.
Yep.
But it's been working.
It was working on the way down here.
The battery's not being charged off the vehicle, or the battery's gone flat because the trailer's, you know, it's 12 months old or whatever the trailer is.
And batteries do fail after a period of time, yep.
Or this switch.
Okay.
It's got salt water in it, and the contacts inside the switch have got corrosion, which means it won't make contact to turn this on. So what we need to do first is probably take the cover off the battery, check the battery out, and then go from there.
Right, well, let's get into it.
Okay, what we're doing here now is actually checking the battery. It has got power there. We don't know exactly without the voltmeter on there what power we've got, but there is power there. So I would be tending to say it's more back in this switch. It's corroded up, contacts are dirty. not turning this on. Next thing, we'll dismantle the switch and have a look there. Okay, I've just removed the back of the switch. This switch actually switches an active. Put your test light onto the negative side of your battery. Check one of the wires. We have power. The other side, with the bung removed, should have power too. We haven't. Contacts in the switch. Switch is faulty, needs replacing. Not many people would check that. It's a must do. Sometimes you can stop these from playing up is by spraying CRC in there, contact cleaner. Anything white sitting around over winter, spray it with CRC. It's not going to hurt. Shackles, you name it on a trailer, just cover it in CRC.
Now what we're talking about here, which we mentioned at the beginning of the show, is we're going to be talking about batteries. Now this is as important as life jackets on a boat. I'm really serious about this. If you have the wrong battery in your boat, you're going to end up having lots of trouble. You're probably just kicking back thinking, any car battery will do, but no, it won't. And that's why we brought your attention to these. And there's a lot of reasons why, isn't it? Your normal car battery isn't really designed for cranking, running lights off, bilge pumps, electric winches, things like this, whereas these kinds of batteries are specifically designed for the marine industry. And why would that be?
Well, this is an M3 battery. It's like your general purpose boat one.
Yep.
Boats with two batteries, boats with two batteries, this is perfect.
Yep.
It'll run anything. It'll run your winches, run your sounders. This battery here is an M6. It's the latest type. It's a lot heavier. Construction's totally different, stronger. It'll run everything.
It's physically built stronger for the pounding of the boat?
For something like this that you've got big sounders, a lot of lights,
as everyone knows about.
A lot of lights on. Everything's running all the time.
Yep.
These are the batteries. They all come in different sizes too. A lot of people tend to get their old Holden battery that's been sitting in the shed and putting it in.
Yeah. It's all good.
Till things go wrong. Stick to the right batteries. Stick. You know, if it's that size battery, put that size battery back in.
Yep.
Don't go putting a smaller battery in and not having it checked, because you will get stuck.
So if a battery is roughly whatever size, either put exactly the same battery back in it, but in a marine battery, or a bigger one. Bigger is always better. Yeah. Exactly. So seriously, guys, on a real serious note, put the proper battery in your boat. It's a big #1 safety issue. Well, Phil, thanks for going over the boat. We found the key was a little bit buggered. We're lucky enough you had one in stock, only because he owns the same sort of motor as I got on your boat. That was just lucky. We've found that our batteries were actually quite down, so we've replaced the batteries with some real good quality batteries now, and especially the deep cycle setup. We found that the breakaway on the trailer was a bit sort of...
well, the switch is faulty, so
I've got to replace that. So there you go, guys. Just shows, even though we come down here to do the show, we actually found things wrong I thought was right. So
pays to check. You don't want to be out there. You don't want to be out there and getting towed back, and if there's someone there to tow you back. So
now, if you want to find Phil, go to that'sfishing.com.au and you'll find him on our website, and you can follow the links, of course. I'm Brian Sanders, Big Phil. Thanks for watching That's Fishing. Until next week, that's fishing.
Cheers.
See, never give me a rod, I lose fish.